Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome back to the Divine Dojo. My name is Gabriela, and I am doing your reading for May 5th through 11th. The week here is chill. It's a chill week, which is nice. In terms of planetary movement and transitions and aspects, we don't really have a lot going on. Big things to note are Mercury entering Taurus on the 10th, which is great for a practical approach to our communication skills or just our communication in general, whether it be by email, text, whatever. Taking a practical approach to that and grounded approach too. And then also Mercury in Taurus definitely is good for having conversations about finances, estate planning, anything like having to do with anything like that. It's good to have those conversations during that transit because obviously Taurus has to deal with money and more personal money, but which is good to have those conversations if you need to be having those. What else? Oh yeah, and then obviously this is leading up to the full moon in Scorpio that lands on Monday the 12th. Great time, Sagittarius, to put anything on paper that you want to release. People, places, things, habits, addictions, anything like that. Write them down, fold it up, burn it, bury it, put it in the ocean. So up to you how you choose to work with the energies, but it's going to be a powerful moon, especially if you're a Sag sun and then have a Scorpio moon or Scorpio, rising, but more of that moon's. Yeah, I'm feeling like I need to clear the energy. My energy level just went down with you guys. I don't know why. So let's clear the energy and bring this back up. Maybe you want to take a deep breath in. Release whenever you're ready. Deep breath in. And release when you're ready. All right, Spirit. I call upon you, Ascended Masters, angels, archangels, to preside over this reading and give me clarity and help me give Sagittarius a beautiful and clean message for whatever they need to hear for this week. I'm being drawn to the wisdom of the Oracle for you guys, so I'm going to go there and start with a opening card here. So yeah, I hope you guys had a good weekend. Like I said, chill week. The energies will get a little bit more intense and crazy as we build up to that full moon for next week, a week from now. Thank you, Spirit. Ooh, you got deep knowing and then regeneration. It was upside down, but these guys I like to read like in the upright because we do have like the protection message and yeah, all the other messages. Look at how beautiful these are. I love the regeneration. That's perfect for the full moon in Scorpio, right? And I love that the deep knowing is the moon. The moon with the owl. To me, the deep knowing is the inner knowing we all have within. So, loves it. I loves it. All right, where are we going next, Spirit? Let's start. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right, Spirit, give me a clear message for my Saggy babies. The Saggy Collective. Woo, thank you. You know what? I feel like I'm gonna shuffle except for these two because I don't don't think I did. So pardon me, Sagittarius. Let me shuffle. Or I didn't shuffle enough because literally like the whole thing of Pisces reading came out for you guys too. Maybe you need to hear those messages, but if they come out again, then they come out again, right? So maybe I just didn't shuffle enough, so. All right, give me a clear message for Saggies. So we have the Eight of Cups, the World, and then the Four of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, definitely moving on. A new chapter is among us, among you guys, is happening. You know, completion, accomplishment. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe you're celebrating. Okay, yeah, well, there. Thank you. Good. All right, so after that, so you got the Eight of Cups. That's like moving on, you know, cutting your losses. Yeah, you're disappointed, you know, and you feel abandoned, or, you know, you're walking away, you're leaving behind whatever is there. And then I love how the moon is there too, you know. Yeah, but you're walking away and you're walking into a new chapter. Because the door is closing, but a new one is opening. So this is great. But you have to watch out for these, you know, these negative energies. Once you, maybe that's probably what you're letting go. Maybe being like the miser, or being too self-protected and guarded, and not being open. Because we do have the Death card. There's Scorpio right there. Yeah, you do have the Death card, and then you have these two pages, the Page of Wands and then the Page of Pentacles. So this like fresh energy, right? After this death happens and this transformation happens, right? And like I said, the regeneration card is, you know, that scorpionic energy. So we're definitely going to read that. But I love this energy after the Death card, because the Page is young, fresh energy, you know, like super full of hope and, you know, optimism and positiveness. And that's a good sign. I'm just curious, you know, all of the cards are upright except this weird ass Four of Pentacles. So I'm going to get clarity on what that is. Yeah, because there's, you know, manifestation, inspiration, new ideas, you know, self-development, ambition, exploring, which, you know, Saggies love to do, and freedom. So, interesting. Why is this Four of Pentacles here, Spirit? Why is this Four of Pentacles here? Too many. Huh. Maybe you've been, you know, disappointed. Yeah, you've definitely been disappointed, right? You've definitely have had some heartbreak, as we all have, right? In the past. I'll put that with the Four of Pentacles. But maybe it's about, maybe you're disappointed in yourself, right? Sometimes we talk to ourselves so negative, and like once we start healing, we don't realize, wow, like I really beat myself up, you know, like why did I do that to myself? We're our worst enemy when it comes to that. Like, who cares what anybody else is saying about us? Like, what are we saying to ourselves on a daily basis, right? Yeah, but it's reversed. So it's like you are releasing the pain, you are moving on. So I like that energy. Why is the Three of Swords here, Spirit? Why is the Three of Swords here? Why is the Three of Swords here? Thank you. The Hangman. Yeah, maybe you had to take a, you know, maybe you have to take a pause this week. Maybe, or you had taken a pause, and it's time to, you know, or maybe you are finally starting to look at things from a new perspective, right? Like from a different perspective. The hangman is just kind of chilling. He's like super chillaxed up there, chilling on that tree. He has the sun crown there. He doesn't have worries. He's just like, I'm chilling. I'm looking at things from a different point of view, right? Change, yeah, there's definitely that change, release going on here. Why is the hangman here? What is this about, Spirit? What is this about? Seems very personal for personal development, maybe. Thank you. Yeah, you got the star, the King of Swords, and then the Ace of Swords. So yeah, it's like you are maybe coming out of, maybe you have like a renewed sense of hope, and you're definitely getting clarity now. Like you're being clearer on like, what this new change is all about, what this transformation is about. We all have been kind of in a fog for about, really since like November, I want to say, but whatever, definitely since January, like we have really been as a collective in a fog with all the energies being stagnant, and a lot of eclipse energy, retrograde energy. And so now that, most planets are direct, Pluto did go retrograde yesterday. So, but that's more of a collective thing than a personal thing. So yeah, maybe you're finally starting to get some clarity on whatever it was that you were trying to transform and, move on from. I like that. So, good energy right there. Yeah, maybe by the full moon, you'll have a nice crystal clear vision of like what it is that you're stepping into and what this transformation is about, because these pages have a lot of young energy, young spirit, right? They have like new ideas, inspiration. They're optimistic. They have a positive outlook. And maybe that's what it was. It was like a negative mindset maybe that we're moving on from. Let me yeah, it's definitely a new cycle you're stepping into, and maybe this full moon is going to solidify that for you. Why is the Death card here, Spirit? Blah, blah, blah. If I can get these cards to fit into my hands, that would be very great. Thank you. Why is the Death card here, Spirit? Why? Oh, tell me why. I know I'm weird, but I don't give a fuck. Tell me why. How interesting. You got the King and Queen of Wands reversed. Why is the Death card here? Yeah, maybe like a partnership, a partnership is being transformed, or maybe, you're moved away from a partnership. You were disappointed in a partnership. You have been disappointed in partnerships in general up until now. And maybe it's the way you view partnerships. And maybe now you're coming, at it partnerships, from a different point of view, with you being a little bit more balanced and centered, right? And having a new perspective on partnerships and, how to be in partnerships. And maybe now you have a renewed inspiration in potentially getting into partnerships, and that can mean romantic or work-related partnerships, right? Friendships. Yeah, it's just a renewed kind of sense of spirit and partnership and hopes. These are reversed, but it tells me that this came out as a pair. So it definitely has to do with you looking at partnerships in a new kind of way, with a renewed kind of energy. I like that. So there's, you know, a new partnership coming up, whether it be romantic or in career and work, or, you know, a new friendship, whatever, you know, just take a look at it from a different perspective than you have before. Don't let like the past disappointments in partnerships, you know, dictate what you do now. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I am going to pull an Akashic Records card. I need to find a better seat because my butt really hurts, especially after doing like too many readings, you know, in a row. I know that's TMI, but I don't care. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Expand. Yeah, it's time to expand. It's time to, you know, move on from the maybe like old ideas of what you think partnerships should look like. It says expand. You're being asked to expand. You live in a huge world with endless possibilities, and staying safe in the known is no longer working for you. It's time to make your world just a little bit bigger. It's time to imagine the possibilities and go for them. Yeah, I like that. I like that, you know, like there's with the pages, you know, there is renewed inspiration, optimism, you know, new ideas, just a new energy that comes in, and it's just and possibilities, right? Exploration, limitless potentials, free spirit, excitement, opportunity, development, ambition, diligence, desire, right? With the pages. So I think that's very beautiful. And then what I'm going to do is pull a angel number card, and then I'm going to read regeneration for you, because I think that's what it's about. It's renewing. Thank you. I'll take that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It says good luck. Spirit guides, progress, justice, structure, systems, processes, discipline, rules. You are on the right track. Spiritual guides are supporting and encouraging you to give your best effort. Success is within your reach. Stay observant of your surroundings and communicate clearly. Trust that everything will fall into place as it should. Yeah, I think, you know, having this fresh and renewed energy is definitely an encouragement, right? Coming at things with the fresh eyes, with young eyes, in terms of like seeing things with optimism and inspiration is the key. So I'm going to read, I might read both. Oh my Lord. Where's, oh yeah. Regeneration 46. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend, Sagittarius. Yeah. So regeneration, the essential meaning is rebirth, second chances, and new opportunity. The Oracle's message is second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as failure or loss is now being replaced by something better and more powerful growing in its place. The rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in a wondrous way. Yeah, it's time to have the transformation and then, you know, step into this new life. The world is the completion, right? You're done with the old and now you're headed into the new. So that's great. Yeah, I'm not going to read any of the other ones because I think that Oracle message is what really was what it was about. And then the deep knowing is card 43. It says essential message, intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, and hypersensitivity. It says the oracle's message, intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into a dialogue with source, the consciousness that you are part of but cannot see with the naked eye. It's perplexing that people are taught to ignore this natural capacity to navigate their journeys, to access their inner guidance. Know that you have an ability to read between the lines and find all the truth that was missing when the story was told. This deep knowing allows you to open the door to wisdom far greater than what is available in the limitations of the human experience. You're given information that make no sense whatsoever to the logical mind of five senses, but which is 100% correct and true. The trick is to listen and then act accordingly. You're now invited into the sacred dialogue of deep knowing, so tune in and trust your vibes. They will be right. Ask and you will receive answers from unusual sources. Yeah, I think it's definitely relating to like looking to the the hangman of looking at things in a different perspective. You know, the door is closed to the old chapter, so now there's definitely, you know, hope and renewal and faith is restored. So you just have to look at things from a different perspective and with optimistic eyes. And Sagittarius, for the most part, are optimistic, you know. I know some sad ones, but whatever. That's okay. And then, you know, yeah, having a different perspective on things in partnerships and relationships, whatever that may be, friendships, romance, you know, business partnerships, you know, new friendships. I think it's going to be a good week. Yeah, and definitely use that full moon in Scorpio on Monday to, you know, release old, because it seems like the old is like ready to be closed. The door is ready to be closed on that, and you're ready to move on to, you know, a different chapter in your life, and it's looking good. Just look at it, you know, with optimistic point of view and positive vibes. You know, it's not to like be like, oh, light and love only, or light, whatever that saying is, you know. That's like whack ass spirituality, in my opinion. And not everything is love and light, you know. We live in a world of duality, and people think like, oh, right, wrong, this and that, you know. And it's like, no, it's all just is, right? It all just is, and it's our programming that makes it right or wrong, or whatever culture and communities that we're in, you know, that gives us the perspective like a right or wrong, you know, things like that. Obviously, there are natural laws of right or wrong, you know, in terms of common sense stuff, you know, that nobody needs to ask whether if it's right or wrong. It's obvious. Anyhow, I don't want to get into a tangent about that, but beautiful. Did I not pull you guys a... Should I do it, Spirit? No. Okay. All right. No, that's the message for this week, Sagittarius. If you have gotten this far, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. I'd like to know how it goes. And I wish you a beautiful week. And yeah, definitely use that full moon to, you know, write down those things that you want to release, and maybe do some cord cutting and, you know, do that. So peace. I love you guys.